It's the first annual market week, and we're at the Truro Farmers Market for Market Day. We're here to see Ron from Stickworks, so come along. Good morning,
Hi, Dani.
Ron. How are you?
Doing all right. Welcome to the market.
Thank you. So, how long have you been at the Truro Market?
11 years.
11 years.
11 years. Around 500 markets.
Oh my gosh. So is this the only market you come to?
Yes,
Do you enjoy it?
I do. I love this place. It's my home away from home.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Has been for years. I've been on the board and sort of paid my dues that way, you know. But I'm a strong believer in this place. It's my home.
Yeah.
My Saturday home away from home.
I know that these boxes particularly are special. Can you tell me a little bit about
Yeah,
these
these
boxes?
are they're empty boxes, but they're largely sold as cremation urns for ashes. And I found a little niche market here. They're one of a kind, and they're well priced. Just wanted to show you the workmanship that goes
It's
into
stunning.
all four corners run together.
That's beautiful.
The grain runs together.
Yeah.
Can you see that? And these are for pets.
Oh.
I've got two little friends that come. Lucia, you need to see this. Two little girls that come. They're about 5 years old, and they come and they look for the frog. When they find it, they hide it.
Oh my gosh.
In a box.
That's so
So I'm
cute.
waiting for them.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me.
You're welcome. I'd really like you to come and see the shop.
I would love that.
Can we make arrangements to do that? You can see me amongst the dust and a little more relaxed.
I'd be so honored. Well, I'll check in with you a little bit later.
All right.
I hope you have a good day.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dani.
Alicia, I cannot believe I found you here at the Truro Market.
It's one of my favorite places to be. I can't believe I found you at this
Oh,
market.
I mean, I'm at every market, so.
It's true.
So is your trailer here?
No, not today. Yeah, it's not far from here, but close enough that we can scoot into the market without having to take it. Parking's a little hard in the downtown.
I know, it took me like 10 minutes to even find parking here.
That's the downside of the small downtown markets for sure.
But, oh my gosh, this place is bumping.
Oh, I love it. I come every Saturday that I can.
Oh, so, okay, what's like your top things to get here?
Usually I come and get a whole ton of stuff, but next weekend we're away, so I have to shop light. But I always come for the German sourdough rye.
Oh, yeah.
It's my favorite.
Enjoy the bread. You said you come here every Saturday.
Every Saturday that I can, absolutely. If
What's
we're in
the
town.
vibe like?
It's very community oriented. Like, I have to have time to come here because I'm going to run into so many people that I know.
Yeah.
It's such a social thing. I love it, and it's a really good start to your day.
I wasn't expecting this market to be so busy.
Yeah, there's more people here than people realize,
Yeah.
and there's also a lot more vendors, I think, than people realize. So yeah, it is a really, really bumping market.
So this is our 45th year.
Wow.
And we've kind of had that kind of enthusiasm since the beginning.
Really?
I don't know if you heard any of the history of our market, but
No, please tell me more.
we used to be in a parking lot over by what was Margolian's.
Okay.
So just a few blocks over under a covered canopy. Well, the canopy came later.
Yeah.
And we moved into this building in 2014. I believe it's 2012, I think. Anyway. But yeah, so it's kind of gone through a lot of iterations. As I mentioned before, there's a lot of vendors who've been with us since the very beginning, but then we have a lot of new vendors that are coming in almost weekly. So it's nice to see that the new folks are getting taught by the folks who've been around for a while, and yeah.
So what is your role here?
What isn't my role here?
I dabble in everything.
I mean, mostly I get to balance our market. I get to communicate with all of the vendors. I get to organize every market day, which feels like an event every week. I do everything from paperwork to mopping the floors, but I also do our social media.
You do a great job on social media.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I get to paint signs. I get to, yeah,
You
there's lots
painted
of
those signs?
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So there's lots of different aspects to the job, and anything that needs to be done, kind of just we try and get it done. So it's often me who tries to get it done.
I feel like you have such a good personality for this.
Thank you. Yeah.
I've been so busy this morning. I think you've just had 100 people here in the last second. I don't know how you do it.
Well, I'm German, Canadian.
So I know my friend Alicia, she said she comes every weekend to get your baked goods.
Thank you.
So do you have a lot of repeat customers that come?
Almost all of them, yes. I do get a lot of new ones, but most are repeating customers.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I put more aside than I put on the table because they all want to sleep in, and usually by
I know.
11:30 I'm sold out.
Oh
yeah.
my goodness.
So,
So
yeah.
how long have you been here at this market?
It's 12 years?
12 years.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of vendors have been here for a
yeah.
very long time.
13 maybe.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah, 12.
Connie, what makes this market different than other markets?
That people constantly come, they repeat every week. You know them all, they become friends somehow, some of them, and it's just a wonderful community.
Oh, I love that.
It's really great. And people, they really want to eat healthy, and that's why they're all coming. It's really great.
So, when do you start baking your goods?
It's Friday, about 13, 14 hours, and then I'm sleeping a little, and then I get up at 3 to bake the pretzels.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know. That's why I look like this.
You look wonderful. Good morning, Ron. How are you?
Good morning, Dani. Welcome to my humble abode here. I'm glad to see you. I've got a few things I want to show you in the shop. You saw at the market finished products, and I'd like to show you how I go about them. Today on the menu we've got sticks and boxes, and if we've got time, something on the lathe.
Ron, you have so many interesting thingamabobs here. Is there anything that is sentimental or anything that's like super old?
Yes, there is. There's this little tri-square from my grandfather. He was an engineer with a British company. And he was in charge of the Sydney Harbour Bridge in Sydney, Australia. His name was George Tarver.
Wow.
And his initials are on there. And that's one of my prized possessions. It's a perfect 90 degrees. I've got some other quite interesting tools in here. This is a state-of-the-art table saw. It's called a saw stop. It is designed to stop turning instantly if you touch the blade.
Oh.
At full speed.
I'm not going to test that out.
No, don't test it. What I'm doing is attaching the handle to the staff now, and I've chosen to use a threaded rod because it works with the epoxy and the glue expands. It's a two-part epoxy. One comes out of the kitchen tap and the other part comes out of the bottle. I'm going to do this on the drill press and I'm going to do this freehand. I always do them freehand. A little pilot hole to start it. Turn 90 degrees to make sure it's still going straight.
I heard you had a good story about your canes.
My cane story started in my grandparents' house, and the first thing I went to was a china cupboard, and in the china cupboard, in a crock beside it, was a cane out. And I think that really, I went to it. It was hypnotic. It just drew me in. When I was a skilled enough woodworker, that was one of the things I was drawn to, is making canes. The first one I made was for my dad. He was about 75, and my sister lived very close to him, and she said, "Can you make Dad a cane? I think he would benefit from that." I made him 3 and took them up. And he was in Southern Ontario in Burlington, and I took them to him, and he was mad. He said, "No, I don't need a cane. It's a symbol of being old. No, take them away." So There's 3 here. Pick your favorite. So he did, but it was reluctant. He grumbled and growled, and he said, "I just absolutely am not interested in the cane. It's a symbol of being old." And he was awkward about it. And anyway, by the time I left, he was used to it and was using it. And about 2 weeks later, he called me up and said, "I'm sorry I was so grumpy." How did I get into woodworking? I've been doing this since I was really little, like 5 or 6 years old. Just helping Dad around the house. He wasn't a professional, but he was a very good amateur woodworker, doing things around the house, building bits and pieces. And I was always interested in painting. I always wanted to help him paint. And when I retired, I was a landscape architect for 41 years with Parks Canada and Natural Resources and in private practice. And when I decided that I'd had enough of that after 41 years. I decided that I was going to be a woodworker. I went down to the market to talk to the manager and said, would you like a high-end woodworker? And she said, yes, I would. So that's how I ended up at the market.
Is there an application process to be a vendor? I seem to see like a lot of vendors that consistently come for the 50 weeks that you're open.
Yes.
So is there like an application process if you want to become part or?
Absolutely. So we're a cooperative market, so that it kind of also means that we have members and casual vendors. So there's no pressure to actually have to be here every single week. We do have some steadfast vendors for sure, and those are usually our member vendors. So those are the core group of folks that are also on our cooperative board. They volunteer their time, they donate funds as well to kind of help keep the market going. But yes, there is an application process, and it kind of depends on your category and where we have space. We like to have healthy competition, but we don't like to oversaturate the market with one product.
What's involved in setting up for the market?
So for setup of the market, I create a map early on in the week to kind of figure out where people are going to go. Outside spaces are delineated into 10-foot by 10-foot spaces, and basically, so at 5 a.m. this morning, I was bringing some stuff outside. Vendors are usually here to put up all of their product. Obviously, I can't put up canopies for everybody, but you know, we put out signs, we put out table and chairs, we make sure everything's clean and orderly, and in general, we're getting everything ready so that the vendor comes in and they see their table and they're ready to set up.
Do you guys have any volunteers, paid staff? How does that work?
So we have 2 part-time staffs, myself and Cam, who's our executive director, and then we also have assistants who help on market day. They're very part-time staff, but we have a couple of those. We don't have a lot of volunteers. We try and get our members to volunteer a little bit of their time.
Gotcha.
And then, yeah, most of that gets done just with the small crew that we have right now.
So Marty and Eric, how are you this morning?
We are doing great.
I see you have a little treat in your hands.
I do. This is Gouda sausage. It's some of the best sausage you can get. No fillers. I come here almost every week just to get a sausage.
Oh my goodness.
And to see a friend of mine.
That's so cute. Yeah. So your friend is Ron, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
We've been talking with Ron. So you say you come here every week. How long have you guys been coming here?
I've been living here. I came to Canada from the States.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I've been here 18 years.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so.
Have you been coming to the market for that long?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, especially to the plant guy.
Oh
Lord.
yes, everyone has been speaking about
Yeah,
him.
he's really good.
So what's your favorite part about coming to the market?
Sausages for one.
Sausages? Did you get a sausage too?
Oh yes, I finished mine. They're so
You're
good.
like, I finished that when I, like 5 seconds after.
Yeah.
I like the flower guy. I buy fresh flowers from him every once in a while.
I feel welcome here.
Oh my gosh, like I said, everybody's
everybody's like
welcoming
family.
you.
Yeah, you know, as an African Canadian and a gay man, I feel very welcome.
That's wonderful.
You know, so it's a nice place to be.
What does the market mean to you personally?
Well, it's my home away from home. Everybody probably that you will interview will say that, but it truly is. Woodworking to me is a very solitary endeavor. I have to put in 35 or 40 hours a week in there. Not that it's a chore, but I have to. And when Friday comes, I go and set up my booth. 90% of what I am going to set up is at the market already. It's in a table down there, locked up. And on Friday, I take my new work from the week that's already and finished, and I mix that with what's already there. So this is a labor of love. I've done it. I've been at the market now for 11 years.
Wow.
And I really like it. It's my home away from home. Most of my friends are involved with the market.
They all love you.
And I love them. Especially in the North Bay, there's a group of people that I'm very close to. We share a lot. And you know, you're there working hard for 4 hours, but the last hour is often quite quiet. And lots of things get shared.
So I noticed from afar that you were just like creatively making something. Can you tell me a bit about what you do?
This is crocheted wire jewelry.
Okay.
And eventually this will work out into being some of the bigger pieces.
Wow,
right?
that's so beautiful.
So you have to kind of think backwards as to how it's going to come off. So
I can't even think forward, so that's super interesting.
there's some planning involved.
How long have you been here at the Truro Market?
It's probably been 15 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
interesting.
Started doing this when my kids were little.
Oh, my goodness. You've spoken a little bit about it. You leave some of your items at the market, but what's involved in setting up for the market?
Well, setting up, I choose to do on Friday because there's not very many people there. It's quiet, and I'm a good friend of the manager's, and I also make myself available to help her on Friday.
She's wonderful.
I recognize that there aren't enough hours in the week for her to do everything, so I do things. I check the fire extinguishers, I check the emergency lights, just go downstairs and make sure it's not flooded or that,
It really is your home away from home.
It is my home away from home. I like the place. I know the building well.
I think you love the place.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. When I was on the board, my main goal, and it's still a goal, is to get involved in the second floor where the firemen used to live and eat. They used to sleep up there till they got a call, and then they jump down the pole like every fire department. And that space is still available. I see it as a place where we could have a large commercial kitchen, incubator space for makers to be involved, and they could also sell in front of their booths on Saturday. It's an underutilized resource.
So, I know you talked a bit about this building and coming into it about 2012, 2014. How did you get this space?
So it's actually through the town of Truro. So the town of Truro owns this building.
Oh, wow.
And we went through a process of renovating the inside. It used to be the old fire hall.
Yeah.
And now that you mention it, this section of the building, there's 3 sections of the building, but this section is 125 this year.
Oh my gosh.
So 125 years, 45 years for the farmers market. We're doing okay.
I love that. It's just so wonderful to see the town really embrace the market.
Yeah, the town of Truro has been amazing supporters of us. They really, really made sure that we had a great space. We have a prime location right beside the Civic Square and the new library. Yeah, the town really cares about us.
I was not expecting it to be this busy. I was shocked, but Connie was like, it's like this every day. And I was like, oh, well, that's great for you guys.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. By the end of Saturday, I think everybody's got their feet up on the couch, maybe drinking a glass of wine, and Sunday you feel a little hungover from just the social
From the
aspect.
people, yeah.
Yeah, you give it all on Saturday.
Yeah. How long have you been at the Truro Farmers Market?
I just returned after a little hiatus, but I've been here for 2 solid years.
Wow.
Every Saturday.
Can you tell me a little bit about your hats?
Sure. They all have a personality and life of their own, it seems.
That.
They're all handmade, hand blocked, hand stitched. There's no machines used other than an iron.
Wow.
Right at this point. I've been making hats for about 25 years.
Let's say this hat, for example.
Yeah.
How long would a hat like this take?
Well, they take several days, up to several weeks.
Oh, wow.
Depending on how busy I am.
Okay, what is your trade called?
My trade,
What's it called?
millinery.
Millinery.
I am a milliner,
Milliner.
and this is the
Millinery.
millinery trade.
Oh, that's so neat.
Yeah. It's also hatter.
Dirty Girl Hats. How did you get the name?
It started when I was making soap, in fact. I was looking for a name for my soap, so I called it Dirty Girl Soap. And I mean, the Dirty Girl is just a natural for me, and I love all the connotations of it in all of its forms. But it really, I mean, there's nothing so sexy and glamorous. It's really because I can't even look at a container of paint without it somehow getting on me. I'm a very messy artist. I'm not a neat artist.
I mean, if you can come up with something like this, I don't care how, what you do, as dirty as you get, they're stunning.
Well, thank you, hon.
Can you tell me the story about your boxes?
Yeah, the boxes, again, family related. When my father died at age 95, so 20 years after I gave him the stick.
That he used.
That he used. My sister called me up and said, Dad's gone, and she said, we'll need to make some. I was on the way. I was in Quebec. I knew it was imminent, and she said, he's gone, we're gonna need a box. And I said, well, I'm halfway to your place, and you don't have much of a workshop, so I think we're gonna have to buy one. And that hurt us both to do that. It was not only expensive, it was crummy, and it was mass-produced offshore, and it was chipboard and not very nice. So I said, when I get home, I'm gonna start making boxes. And I have, and it's been a big part of my business.
That's beautiful.
You know, they're empty boxes, but to be honest with you, 90% of them get used as cremation urns.
So I know you're not supposed to say this, but do you have a favorite vendor? It's actually funny that you say that because we were just speaking with Ron and he said the same thing.
Yeah.
So
Hillendale Perennials is amazing. Lloyd and Loran are wonderful member vendors who are constantly giving to the market and whatever we need, from volunteering their time to volunteering products and giving gifts. It's like positive attitude all the time. Lloyd is the first one here. I got here at 5 o'clock this morning. He was already partially set up. You can't beat him here. But they love it, and they're also very supportive of all of the vendors who come to the market. So it feels really good.
I've spoken to so many people today, and every single one of them has said to come visit you.
They could be exaggerating.
I doubt it, because I've never seen as lush of greens as you.
Yeah. Well, I guess I always joke I know half the people in Colchester County and the other half know me. I've been around for a long time, and you meet a lot of people here at the market, and so I've been here longer. My business, Hillendale Perennials, my wife and I, longer than any other vendor, 35 years.
That's incredible.
This one here, we've tried over the years to be, even before inclusive was in, to be inclusive. Everybody's welcome here.
I love that.
It's a nice mixture of the inside and outside. Because we run 50 weeks of the year, so inside winter.
Yep.
So we're back in November, and we've been out here before -15 evening.
Oh, no way.
November selling Christmas products, but most of the time in the winter it's inside.
Hello again.
Good afternoon, Ron. How are you?
Well, it's been an interesting morning.
Tell me about it.
Well, I've been featuring it for the last 6 weeks. I've been featuring these bowls. You can see the spalted wood here. And that's from Fiona, the hurricane we had almost 2 years ago. I am repurposing, and a lot of people know where I live, and after the hurricane, a lot of wood appeared in my driveway, to the point that I had to buy a small electric chainsaw to start, to deal with.
So people were dropping off wood to your house?
Yes, and I was helping people. I was helping people take down trees, and I was well paid in wood. It was good.
Your frog friend, did she find her frog?
She did, and she moved it to another box. That's part of the game.
Box.
She's a nice kid.
So you've had a good market day.
I've had a good day.